afternoon, and welcome back to Salty Blowie. I believe this is 32.
Took a
Um,
hiatus
I know we
there.
took a 2 week hiatus. We had, I just mentioned on the story, we had some family in town, and then the week before, what do we have the week before? We had something that
I was out of town one
you were out of
weekend.
town. Yes, that's right. So, 2 week hiatus. We're back now. Not a lot has changed in 2 weeks. Still dealing with the same stuff, but um, we're back. And since those 2 weeks, though, you have started a 30-day challenge that
hmm
I don't think we talked on the last time because it's only been. Are you in your third week? It's
I
your third week
started
now, huh?
third week. Well, I'm almost done with my third week.
Almost done with the third week.
Yeah, tomorrow will be week 4.
And so how's that going?
It's good. I mean, I haven't been perfect. If you follow me, you know
Yeah.
I'm pretty open about my snacking, occasionally just to curb my craving, but nothing major, down like 7 pounds or something. So,
Your discipline throughout the week, though, has been pretty. I haven't seen it from you in a long ass time,
mm-mm.
from at least this type of discipline. Um, but what's crazy is it seems like not just like obviously the physical like hunger pains are there, but I think your mind is in a better place this time because like I remember when you would do the like when Amy gave you the bodybuilding prep.
Well, yeah, that lasted like 2 or 3
Usually when you're
weeks.
dieting and stuff, you're complaining the whole time,
Yeah.
but this time I feel like your head's in a better. I mean, you're still when your hunger comes, it hits you and it hits you hard.
It's not so much hungry. It's I want. It's hungry for
Craving.
things that I'm not supposed to have.
Yeah.
Like I actually haven't been very hungry, which has been nice. But when I am hungry, instead of reaching for my protein shake with greens, or my salads, I've been really wanting something I'm not supposed to have. But for the most part, I've done pretty good with my meal prepping.
Yeah.
Like last week, I changed my ground beef up with like a steak meat, added bell peppers, had that for like 3 days in a row, and actually enjoyed it I was looking forward to that meal each day,
Look
which
like
was nice.
look like a yummy fajita bowl that
Yeah,
she was
it
eating
was
every
really
time.
good. So, I mean, I've done better with trying to be, not ridiculous eating things that I don't like chicken and broccoli. Like, I like broccoli, but I like broccoli with cheese and stuff on it. I don't like chicken, and so I'm not making myself eat things I don't like. So,
Chicken's just so hard because especially if it's the way that chickens is hard to cook for everybody, and it just turns into that dry powder. Like you're almost gagging it down. Like it's hard to chicken after a while just gets fucking hard. I know some people can just do it day in and day out, like you said, chicken and broccoli, but for me,
well, I see people make
it's
really
hard.
yummy looking chicken dishes, and I'm just not that creative and I don't care to be in the kitchen, to be honest. I like things simple. So, already cut steak meat and then just adding in some seasoning and stuff is my jam. So, keeping it simple, but I need some kind of flavor. But, yeah, so no, it's good. I think this I'm down to like my last week, I guess, or, well, probably about, I don't know what I have left. I have to look on my track.
So she's been doing her thing. I haven't been as strict, but I've been clean throughout the week and trying to do my part as well. And I'm down. I'm right now. I'm in between the 11 and 12 range. But like, it's crazy when we're eating healthy and we want a craving and then we go and get it. So for instance, yesterday morning I shouldn't have, but um, both hinted at biscuits and gravy the last 2 days, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna bring her home some biscuits and gravy, and it destroyed my stomach yesterday, all day. Up until we went to dinner, I tried not to eat anything during the day, but I started to get hungry, so maybe I'll just do my fish and rice. But up until we left for dinner last night, my stomach was just tore up, and so it's amazing to think when you do eat clean for even if it's just 2 weeks, your body will know when you're putting junk in it again, and it just does not do. I don't do well with milk anyways, so it was just yeah, it was bad. So we're sticking to that, and even when we're doing it, I would say like last night at dinner, you knew that you wanted dessert, but you didn't get the full pasta plate like you really wanted, or clam chowder. Like, yeah, I
I
think
didn't.
using your head better, both of us. I wanted dessert too, so I didn't get a full entree. I just got one of the best appetizers I've had. Um,
I did veggie enchiladas,
they were
which
delicious.
were yummy, and I didn't eat it all. I'm not a big fan of Mexican rice, so I didn't have any rice. I had a small little scoop of beans, and it came with like this little salad thing. So that was fulfilling. My dessert was massive and huge. I didn't finish it. Um, But yeah, so it's just finding that balance.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's what we've been at.
Except he forgot and brings me home peachy rings today from the grocery store. He's like, I
You
forgot
know,
you weren't doing sugar and I brought these home. I was like, oh no, I'm definitely going to eat them.
but then, even if
Probably just
she's,
spread them out, like have one or two a day.
and that's what
But
you've been doing, yeah. Um, so other than that, just sticking to our Peloton and gym at home, and
I have been very disciplined with my workouts, though.
yeah,
That's one thing I have stuck because I find that when I do the two, I'm eating better and my workouts, it definitely helps when I do them together. So I hit the Peloton every single day, and then every other day is weightlifting day, but Peloton every day. So
yeah. And don't mind me for looking like a homeless bum next to her. We're going somewhere tonight too, and I just after I worked out, I hadn't showered yet, so
I did
um,
yoga, but I changed and
yeah.
cleaned up because, yeah.
So before we went on, I want to say rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Jamie told me last night at the same time all these flooded texts were coming in. For those of you that don't know, the actor for Black Panther, he just played in some recently stuff too, has been battling colon cancer. And it's
Since
been,
2016, actually. I didn't realize that because he's been recording all these movies since then. So,
yeah.
really sad. And he's only 43, which I think is so sad. I mean, that's just a little bit older than me. I did not realize he was so young, too. So,
So,
super sad.
I know. Condolences and thoughts are with him is just sad because it's one of those. It's just especially when it comes out of the blue when you don't know someone's sick. It's like, whoa, what? How? Like, he kept it private from a lot of people. So, um, yeah, sad day. I guess one thing I'll hit on is with everything going on is with the Republican National Convention, Democratic conventions going on. There's still it's exhausting being online sometimes, and I'm sure you see it a ton. On there, it's so negative and it just drains you. And so I try if I see a political post, I normally don't engage anyway because it just never ends well. So I'm trying to like just instead of seeing what this person that I know has to say, just kind of going past it. And so I wanted to just say something real quick that you know, um, no matter who the president is right now, who it was before, whether Biden is elected in November, um, I will not change who I am as a person on who the president is. I will not change, who I am as a person, whether Congress or Senate, like who's in office, should have no influence on how we act as people. And so what I wanted to get to is that the way that we treat each other is I'm not going to say the only thing that matters because who we elect is important as well. But I'm seeing too many people talking about the political side that they are affiliated with being bunched into what their leader stands for. And so I just think that we need to get back to really, it's up to us. Like the government's not, they're always going to want control. They're always going to be fighting over each other for control and money and power. And so we shouldn't leave it up to our politicians to wait to see who's in office and then let that affect let that affect the way that we treat each other. And I see too many people being divided by politics without, if they were in person, they'd be treating each other so much. I guarantee you, half the political posts that we see on social media, those people would not treat each other the way they do in person. And I just want to reflect on that and see if there was anything, without getting into beliefs. I think it's just common sense. I think that we need to go and be better to each other. That's where it starts. It starts on the ground with us. It shouldn't matter who the fuck is in office for us to be, oh yeah, I'm not going to treat this person because so and so's in office. So I don't know. Do you have anything that?
You know me in politics.
That's why I tried to say though. This isn't about politics. This is about us. Like, I know that you would never. It doesn't matter who's in office. I know you're gonna treat everybody that you come in contact with the same way.
And I think that's just my stance on it is I'm just in my world. Like I always hashtag annoyingly overly positive because people probably like, oh my gosh, Jamie, it's not that I'm clueless. I just choose to focus on the good and love y'all. And I really don't. I keep scrolling. I don't really pay attention to much of the negativity at all because, for one, I just, like you said, it's a no-win situation. People are going to argue until they're blue in the face, and no one's going to change. Like they're all set in their ways. So
Mm-hmm.
arguing about it's not helping the situation at all or changing it. Like I guarantee someone that's set in their ways is not going to listen to somebody that's the opposite and suddenly say, "Oh, you made a good point. I agree with you now." Like it's just not going to happen. So it's to me it just pointless. So
But that's what I'm talking about, is that needs to happen. Maybe not so on social media, but talking in person, because the only way that we're going to get change is to talk and listen. And not enough people do the listening. Everybody just wants to talk now, which I think you were alluding to. Nobody wants
well,
to
they
be
don't
an
want to
open
argue.
mind.
They don't even want to talk. They just want to argue. They
And
want to
we
prove their point is right and they're wrong. Other person's wrong.
and those people need to be shut up, because I think that in person we treat each other so much better than we think social media portrays.
But then a lot of those people will never meet in person, though. I mean, social media brings people from across the, country, the world to argue in one spot. Like those people aren't going to treat each other. They're not obviously never going to meet in person. The odds of that happening. So that is how they're going to communicate, is via online and social media.
But that's what I'm alluding to, though, is that I'm talking about in person. Social media is a different animal, because people don't they're all keyboard warriors. I'm talking about in person is how we need to treat each other, because I believe what you're saying is on social media nobody's going, they can say whatever they want and not have any repercussions of what they say. But I think in person is what matters, how we treat each other. Being around different people, and I guarantee you that these conversations that you see on social media, I've never heard any of these conversations in person. Nobody talks the way that they do on Facebook in person. Um,
But then I think that's also the people we're around. We don't surround ourselves with people that are super. If they are super political, these subjects aren't getting brought up. Like we are in social settings pretty
mhm.
often, whether it's at the beach or like barbecues like today. We are in situations with groups of people that we might have different beliefs or how we feel about different things going on in the world right now. But I'm not seeing these conversations being brought up. I feel like it's more we're there to have a good time, relax, and the people we're around know those aren't conversations that are gonna be enjoyable.
So I'm not saying that they need to be had while we're in those settings. I'm saying that we just need to treat each other well, no matter who's in. No, what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter who's in office. It's that shouldn't influence how we treat each other. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we can't have those conversations or that they aren't happening. I'm just saying that the people saying that this group's only acting this way because Trump's in office, or this group's only acting this way because Obama was in office, like that's not an excuse to act like an asshole.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying, is we need to get rid of those people. Like, if I all of a sudden change my tune because someone else is elected president, in 2020, or um, then I'm an asshole. And that's what I'm saying we need to get rid of, are the people that think they can do whatever by who's in office. That should not affect anyone at the social level at all. Whatever Governor Newsom says, we want to listen to, and we want to take that information and do with it what we want, whether it's good or bad. But whatever he says shouldn't affect the way that we treat each other. That's what I'm trying to say. Is too many people are using the excuse of the right, they think that they're empowered to treating people this way, or the left is empowered to treating people this way because so-and-so's in office. I don't give a shit who's in office. It could be a fucking monkey. That's not going to change how I treat people. That's what I wanted to allude to,
Oh,
is
okay.
don't let the excuse of our politicians, just because they have power, enable you to act like an asshole. So I wasn't trying to get in the beliefs of systems. I just think that we need to treat each other better, and it should just come from your heart. It shouldn't come from any influence of who's in office. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. I don't think it's I didn't really curb aside of saying, talking about any beliefs. I just wanted to tell you, I think that if you act like an asshole, you're an asshole. Treat everybody with respect and love. That's all we need. It's simple. So, all right, and we're back. Sorry, there's a tree right outside. It's like half on the neighbor's property and half on ours, and they're cutting it right now. It's a massive pine tree, and it's loud as fuck. So excuse if you hear the chains. We try to close everything up, but it's like right on top of us. So, but yeah, in other news, salons and barbershops are opening on. Is it the end of this month, right?
Next week
Next week.
or
So
Monday. Actually, it might be Monday, or it might be next Monday. Maybe not this coming Monday. It might be the following Monday. I forget. I didn't see. I don't pay attention anymore. I give up.
I know
I
it's
can't
so
keep
fucking
track. I don't know
hard.
what's open, not open. All I know is I can't eat inside a freaking restaurant.
Like we were at a beautiful restaurant last night, and granted, the views on the porch of the beach were beautiful, but it got fucking cold, and literally 3 feet from us is glass that we could be sitting inside of with the same view and warm. Like all it had to be was clean, and we had to wear our mask walking 3 feet over. Like I don't get it.
No,
It's
apparently it's a California thing. I don't know what other states are doing what we're
I
doing.
know it's so hard to know what the other states are.
I know. I used to in the beginning was listening every week, tuning in, seeing where we're at, what stages, what phases, blah 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 blah. I don't keep track anymore. I couldn't tell you, except I did see the announcement that salons were given the okay to open, but that doesn't include nails and it doesn't include skin.
Oh,
It's
it
only
doesn't.
hair.
Oh wow.
So for my esthetician friends and my nail friends, I feel your pain.
And apparently there's new phases too. I missed that. I didn't see what it was yesterday, but apparently the phases have kind of been restructured.
Yeah, like LA County and all the bigger counties are all opening. We're the ones, SLO County apparently sucks and we're never going to open.
Oh, for real? The big ones are?
Yes, they've all be
What
getting
are they
they're all
opening?
getting off of the watch list. They're all moving into the next phases.
Oh, wow. I did not see
Our
that.
numbers are bad apparently. But I mean, what numbers? The false
Positives,
positives,
the
the real ones, the people that want to test for fun because they're just curious if they have it or don't have it.
yeah.
So,
Damn, I did not know that the bigger cities were.
yeah, the bigger counties are doing better on the watch list than we are. Like you have to have so many consecutive days of a certain amount of cases or under, and we are exceeding that every day. We're exceeding the allotted amount. Those other big counties are actually keeping their numbers down. So, who go figure.
Um Actually since the our last podcast, we had two I think they're still going. We had two bad fires in California, and one of them was
We had like 42 up and down the state
what's
at one point.
what is Big Sur, like 2 hours from us or farther? 3?
I'd say at least a couple hours. I'm not positive.
So north of us, there's a town called Big Sur, and they had a big fucking fire. And for some reason, the way that the storms and everything, we've kind of had this weird summer weather where it's been really humid and kind of like almost reminds me of like the Colorado summer storms. But the wind, the way that it carried all of that fire's smoke to us. And for 3 or 4 days last week, or not last week, the week before, Paso Robles, San Miguel, and Tascadero had the third worst air quality in the world.
But we were also in between another big fire in Salinas area, which is only about 45 minutes, maybe about an hour and a half from us. And they had a really, really, really massive fire too. So we were kind of getting it from both ways, the smoke and stuff. I mean, it was like zero.
I mean, it was you could walk out. The sun was red for fucking 4 days. The hills that are behind us that you can't see out of this window. On a sunny day, you see them across the freeway. We could not see the closest road over. That's how smoky it was. The house smelled like smoke. You couldn't open the windows and get relief, so fucking AC was just running goddamn 2 days straight. I had never been in this area. We have a lot of fires here, but I had never been in this area where the smoke was that bad.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, I went out in it, and I was like, all right, maybe it'll subside. I came home, and I was like, fuck, man, I feel like shit. The next day, Thursday, Jamie was like, you shouldn't go in. Like, you should, And so I texted some of my clients. They all fucking needed me that day. Obviously, they told me, be safe, and make sure you're doing what you have to do. But I went Thursday, and so Thursday, I was at my work in a warehouse from 3 in the morning, breathing all of it in, and then a long ass day Friday, and I got home and I was just wrecked. So nothing, came of it. But I was like, man, am I gonna need an inhaler? I'm wheezy, and smoke was just so bad for those fires. So that's what we've been dealing with. But it's pretty much subsided. I don't know how the fires are containment wise, but it's a lot better to breathe here. You couldn't even go to the beach. The beaches were nasty here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so weird that the way that the wind traveled, because that weekend Jamie went up north with one of her girlfriends to Morgan Hill, and the smoke was better there, and they're much closer than than it was here.
Yeah.
So
I know, it's crazy.
you
It's
got to
crazy.
go on a little shopping trip. That was the first time you've been able to do something like that in a while, huh?
I know, it was fun. We went. We were supposed to hang out at the pool all day at the hotel, but the guy that booked my room lied. He was
God.
info was all wrong. I should have known. I had asked if the hotel pools were open, not because of COVID necessarily, but because of air quality as well. He said yes, yes, yes. All the amenities are open. The fitness room, the pool, spa, la 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 la. You can get early check-in, which we got the early check-in, but nothing was open. No pools, no nothing. So instead of having our loungy, lazy day at the pool on Saturday, we ended up switching up our day and got food at my favorite fast Mexican restaurant, Super Taqueria, which was delicious, but definitely tore my tummy after being 2 weeks on my clean eating. And then we headed over to the Gilroy outlets and literally went to every single, if you've ever been there, it's a huge outlet center, and there's like 4 shopping centers, and we went through all of them. And it was a lot of fun. It was nice. The air quality was better, so there was blue skies. It was pretty warm, but and then we went out to a nice dinner in downtown Morgan Hill, where one of my friends from school owns the restaurant, and it was a nice girls' getaway for sure. I mean, we originally had planned to go up north to, or farther, a little bit farther up to San Jose, to the store that we both follow on Instagram, Vici. And so we were like, okay, let's finally do Vici. And then Vici actually closed their California locations permanently due to COVID. So that plan was out, and we can't be heading to Nashville anytime soon to their other location. And then I was looking in the malls because she'd never been to like a really good, one of the San Jose malls. So I was looking into Valley Fair, but looked like a lot of the stores still aren't open yet and only doing curbside pickup. So I was like, I don't want to go into a mall if it's not like fun to shop in and half the stores are closed. So luckily all the outlet stores are open. They've grown, they had some good stuff. So they had some really good sales going, I think because of sales being down right now. So on top of the outlet prices, there was some good sales on top of that. And yeah, so it was fun.
Yeah, you got some crazy good sales.
I did good. Yeah,
um,
we both did really really good with our shopping. I mean, we felt so bougie with all of our bags. Like, hey, and really we hadn't spent a whole lot. And I actually had a budget, and I didn't even go over my budget. So it was good.
you know what outlets I really want to go to are these ones right here. They're the Citadel outlets, and we pass them every time we go to Disneyland. We pass them. They're supposed to be. They have all like the Greek statues and stuff out front. It goes so this. You see this?
Oh yeah.
We pass them going, and they're supposed to be amazing. They have fucking everything in there. I'd like to stop by there one time. They're supposed to be really nice. Look how big that Disney store is.
Oh wow.
But yeah. Speaking of staycations, Jamie came back. I think we should staycation somewhere. And for the Central Coast is still so fucking high for the rooms, for the hotels. I just for the fun of it, I was like, well, maybe it'd be cheaper for us to go to downtown Disney and eat at Cheesecake Factory and have yummy food. And so we haven't been down there in a while. And there was a room at the Fairfield, not the nice one. They just opened a JW Marriott next to Disneyland in California. And JW Marriott's, that's where we stayed out when we went to Santa Monica a few years ago. And that was like $800-900. But the Fairfield Marriott, which is a nice hotel right on South Boulevard, that was only $119. That was with room fees and tax.
And I'm
Where
assuming it's because Disneyland's closed still, so
Yep.
all those hotels are hurting so bad.
Yeah. So I couldn't believe how much cheaper that was, especially with the restaurants in the Anaheim Garden Walk and Downtown Disney reopening. So we could go there for that much cheaper, but room still here if you want an ocean view is still $400-500. So it's
And
just
if you don't need an ocean view, there's still 3 something.
yeah. So
Not when we live 20 minutes away can I justify paying that. So
I know
no
it's just
staycationing at the beach right now.
no. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I'm sure that we'll have some big news here in the coming weeks as we got some changes going on, not on the podcast but in work. So yeah, that's all I got. I do have a quote that I wanted to say, and I thought it would be fitting. It is by Chadwick Boseman. The struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. It's not it is what it is. You can take that with pretty much face value. You don't have to think too deep on that quote. And I was looking for something from him to share, and he's got a ton. He has a bunch of good quotes. It's hard because some of them are just the script from Black Panther,
Yeah.
but he just by himself has a lot of good ones. So
He was definitely well respected and liked. I mean,
yeah,
I honestly didn't know much beyond Black Panther, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's non-Black Panther related about him. So
and what's sad is they knew early once they diagnosed him, they knew it was terminal. Like
yeah,
he knew right away, which was like, oh gosh. So
yeah, it's
um,
terrible.
yeah, but other than that, you got anything that you want to share or plug?
No, not at this time.
No.
Nope.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll be back next week. And we'll come prepared, as we should have. The 2 week hiatus really got me off my game planning,
I think yoga made me
and
tired,
I'm fucking tired. I would be.
and it's PMSy week, so I'm also grumpy.
So hopefully the food at the barbecue tonight will make her feel better.
Couple hours. I
So,
know.
anyways, guys, we'll be back next week. Let us know any of your thoughts on what we had to say today, but most importantly, treat each other well. All right, we love you guys. Go follow us on Salty Blowie Instagram. We'll make up for our Instagram being funny since today was so fucking dull. Um, but
Yeah, stay tuned for. I'm sure he'll pick the ugliest face I make through this whole thing for the thumbnail, like he does every week.
no, the last two YouTube picked. So.
I know, but usually you pick your own.
All right, guys. Well, take care and have a great weekend. We will see you next week. Bye.
Peace.